2 engines and a transmission gone in just 22,000 miles. And Toyota just admitted in writing to federal regulators that the fixes from its last 2 recalls on this exact problem, covering over 250,000 trucks, never worked. That's the story today. What Toyota actually said and why Tundra owners are furious. This breakdown is based on Toyota's own May 20th, 2026 recall filing with the NHTSA, federal safety records going back to 2024, an independent engine teardown, and real owner accounts from Toyota and Lexus owner communities. Here's the reframe before we get into the numbers. This isn't a story about a handful of unlucky trucks. This is the 3rd recall on the same root cause in under 2 years. And for the first time, Toyota's own paperwork admits the first 2 fixes didn't fully fix anything. Number 5, the first recall, 102,000 trucks, May 20th, 2024. If you bought a 2022 or 2023 Toyota Tundra with a gas-only twin-turbo V6, the engine Toyota markets as I-Force, you already lived through recall number 1. In May 2024, Toyota told the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration it was recalling about 102,000 vehicles, roughly 98,500 Tundras built at Toyota's Alabama plant, plus around 3,500 Lexus LX 600s, all sharing the same 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6, internally known as the V35A. Here's the plain language version of what Toyota told the feds. During manufacturing, tiny metal shavings, left over from machining the engine block, weren't fully cleaned out before the engine left the factory. Those shavings can travel through the oil and lodge in the crankshaft's main bearings, the parts that let the crankshaft spin smoothly inside the block. Over time, especially under hard driving, that debris can wear those bearings down until the engine knocks, runs rough, won't start, or shuts off completely, including at highway speed. Toyota's fix wasn't a patch job, it was a full engine replacement, free of charge, and dealers were told to budget about 13.5 hours of labor per truck. For a stretch, some dealers were even instructed to stop selling certain new Tundras off the lot until the affected engines could be swapped first. That's how seriously this was treated internally, even while the public messaging stayed calm and routine. The rollout happened in phases based on when your engine was built, with the final phase targeted for mid-2025. So if you're a 2022 to 2023 owner, you've probably already been through this. Here's the part that should bother you anyway. As of Toyota's most recent filing, dealers have completed repairs on a little over 77,000 of those 102,000 trucks. That means roughly 1 in 4 trucks from the first recall, 2 full years later, still haven't gotten the free fix Toyota promised back in 2024. And as you're about to see, fixed never meant what anyone assumed it meant. Number 4, the second recall, 127,000 more, November 20th, 25. 18 months after recall number 1, Toyota was back at the NHTSA's door. This time, the recall covered roughly 127,000 more vehicles, 2022 through 2024 Tundras, more Lexus LX 600s, and for the first time ever, the brand new 2024 Lexus GX 550. Same engine family, same machining debris explanation, same fix, full engine replacement. Here's why this one stings differently than the first. The build date window for the affected engines now stretched into early 2024, meaning some of these trucks were assembled after Toyota had supposedly already tightened up its cleaning process following recall number 1. The debris wasn't just an old problem from 2021 and 2022 engines. It was still showing up in engines built more than 2 years later, under what was supposedly an improved process. Then there's the detail Toyota quietly handed to Consumer Reports. Some vehicles caught up in the second recall had already been through the first recall. Some owners got a brand new fixed engine under recall number 1, and that brand new replacement engine is now also on the recall list. Toyota called it an incredibly small batch. If you're one of those owners, small batch doesn't feel small. It feels like getting the lemon twice in a row. And think about the timing for Lexus specifically. The GX nameplate had just returned to American dealerships after years away. It was supposed to be Lexus's big comeback story for 2024. Instead, in its very first model year, it landed on the same recall list as a 3-year-old engine problem. Not exactly the welcome party Lexus was hoping for. On owner forums, the reaction split. Some owners said this proves the cleanup process simply isn't working, period. Others went further, arguing this V35A engine family has roots going back to Lexus products from the mid-2010s, and that machining debris has always been the easiest way to describe a problem without saying the words design flaw out loud. We can't independently verify how far back the lineage goes, but a brand new 2024 SUV landing on the same recall for the same reason in its first model year is hard to wave off as bad luck from old factory tooling. Recall 2 didn't just add more trucks to the list. It proved the list was never actually closed. Number 3, the teardown. What's inside these engines at 38,000 miles? Toyota's official explanation, repeated across 3 recalls now, is machining debris, leftover metal shavings that get into the oil and damaged bearings. That's the story. But getting an actual failed V35A engine to inspect yourself isn't easy, because Toyota requires dealers to send failed engines back to the company as cores instead of letting them go to scrap yards or independent shops. One mechanic managed it anyway. Eric Berg, who runs the I Do Cars YouTube channel and has built a reputation tearing down failed engines from basically every major manufacturer, got his hands on a recalled V35A with just 38,000 miles on it. What he found backs up part of Toyota's story and undercuts another part of it. The match. There was metallic debris and oil sludge built up inside the cylinder head, and a timing chain idler gear, basically a pulley that keeps the timing chain under tension, was unusually stiff, its internal bearing packed with debris. The mismatch. 2 of the engine's 4 main bearings, the big bearings holding the crankshaft itself in place, not the smaller rod bearings connected to the pistons, had spun. In plain English, that means the bearing physically rotated loose inside its housing because there was no oil film left to hold it there. It's one of the most severe things that can happen inside a running engine, and it usually means the block itself is junk. Meanwhile, the rod bearings, the ones Toyota's debris framing would suggest should take the worst of it, looked basically fine. Translate that into steaks. The parts most associated with dirty oil from leftover shavings came out clean. The parts that hold the crankshaft itself in place were destroyed. That's not really what a simple cleanliness problem looks like on a workbench. It looks more like something is putting abnormal stress on the crankshaft at one specific spot. And that lines up with complaints in the class action lawsuit describing a hesitation when you press the gas, followed by an unexpected burst of power moments later. Owners say that delayed response can show up right before a full failure. That's not just annoying, that's the kind of thing that causes a rear-end collision at a stoplight. As you're about to see, Toyota's own engineers eventually wrote down exactly where that one specific spot is. Number 2, 22,000 miles, 2 engines, 1 transmission, and he's still loyal. Here's the story this whole video is built around. A 2024 Toyota Tundra owner in Lake Wylie, South Carolina, he posted as Ray in a Tundra owners group, bought his SR5TRD Sport in Lunar Rock the very first week the 2024 model launched. Less than 3 years and 22,000 miles later, he's on his second replacement engine and a brand new transmission. Here's how that combination happens, because it's not a coincidence. When one of these engines seizes, which is what happens when a main bearing fails completely, it doesn't ease to a stop. It locks up instantly, sometimes at highway speed. That sudden stop sends a shock wave backward through the drivetrain, and the transmission's torque converter and clutch packs take a hit they were never designed to absorb. To make it worse, the cooling system on these trucks routes transmission fluid through part of the same radiator as the engine coolant. So when an engine failure disrupts coolant flow, the transmission can overheat at the exact same moment it's absorbing a mechanical shock. 2 failures, 1 chain reaction. And here's the part that should make Toyota's PR team nervous. Ray is still a Toyota guy. By his own account, the dealership took care of him every step of the way. Loaner car, no fights, no drama. His second replacement engine reportedly runs better than the truck did when it was brand new. And he says he's hopeful this is finally the one that sticks. That's not someone defending a great product. That's someone whose loyalty is being propped up entirely by his dealership's service department, not by anything Toyota actually built. Ray's case is dramatic, but he's not alone. And the mileage numbers are all over the map, which is the genuinely scary part. One 2024 Tundra owner posted from the shoulder of the highway after his engine died with a build date of March 20th, 2024, under a year old, and had to fight to make sure Toyota gave him a full replacement engine instead of a cheaper, short block, a partial rebuild that leaves some original components and potentially some of that leftover debris in place. Another owner reported a complete failure at 44,000 miles and got a hassle-free swap with a loaner. A separate post described two different Tundras from the same household, both failing at right around 34,000 miles. And in the class action lawsuit, some owners report total failures as early as 10,000 miles, before a lot of people even get their first oil change reminder. Stack those up: 10,000, 22,000, 34,000, 44,000. There's no mileage where you can exhale. For a brand whose entire reputation was built on trucks that ran 300,000 miles without drama, that's the real headline. To be fair, not every V35A is a ticking time bomb. At least one owner reports putting over 170,000 miles on a 2022 Tundra with zero engine issues, despite driving it hard. Towing, high-altitude driving, and sustained high-boost conditions seem to be what separates the trucks that fail early from the ones that don't. But it depends on how hard you drive it is a strange thing to have to say about a $60,000 truck. Number 1. Even after these controls, the sentence that changes everything. Here's the exact situation Toyota put in writing on May 20th, 2026. After the first recall, Toyota added extra steps to clean debris out of these engines during manufacturing. After the second recall, presumably they tightened things even further. And in this third recall, covering engines that were built using those extra controls. Toyota told federal regulators that even with all of that, leftover debris could still be enough to damage the number 1 main bearing, the very first bearing position on the crankshaft, sitting right behind the timing chain. Read that again. This isn't Toyota saying, we found another batch of bad engines from the old process. This is Toyota saying, we improved the process twice, and it's still not enough, at least for this one bearing in this one spot. That's the admission. 2 fixes, on the record, didn't fix it. And remember number 3? The teardown that found spun main bearings while the rod bearings stayed clean? Toyota's own May 20th, 2026 filing points to that exact location, the front of the crankshafts, right where the timing chain tensions against it. Under heavy towing, high boost, or high altitude driving, where the turbos work harder and the oil runs hotter and thinner, that timing chain tension squeezes the oil film at the number 1 bearing down to almost nothing. Any debris still in there, even microscopic amounts that survive 2 rounds of improved cleaning, gets crushed into the bearing surface instead of flushed past it. One automotive engineer summed it up simply: modern engines are built with such tight tolerances that there's basically zero margin for error, and any debris that touches these bearings can be catastrophic. Independent teardown and Toyota's own paperwork are now telling the same story from 2 completely different directions. So what happens now? Toyota says engines built after this latest recall's cutoff got a redesigned number 1 main bearing, deeper oil grooves, a harder bearing surface material, built to survive contamination the old design couldn't. That might be the real fix. But Toyota also said that after Recall 1 and after Recall 2, and dealers are still working through a backlog from 2 years ago, with remedies for both of the 2 most recent recalls not even finalized as of this filing. Trust the new bearing design is a big ask from a company that's used some version of that sentence twice already. Here's where it shows up in the real world. For years, the pitch for a Tundra was simple. Buy the V8, drive it for 15 years, Never think about the engine again. That pitch is gone for the current generation because there is no V8 anymore. It's twin-turbo V6 or nothing, and that V6 is the one with 3 recalls in 2 years. Some owners are walking. There's a real wave of people cross-shopping the Nissan Titan, the old-school naturally aspirated V8 truck everyone assumed was on its way out, specifically because it doesn't carry any of this baggage. Others are stepping up to heavy-duty trucks with iron block V8s, trading fuel economy for an engine that isn't fighting a 3-recall losing streak. And then there's the detail that tells you how dealers actually feel, no matter what the official talking points say. Toyota brands famously run the tightest new vehicle inventory in the industry, often under 30 days worth of trucks on the ground, against an industry average closer to 75. Toyota almost never needs to discount because their trucks don't sit long enough to need moving. And yet, on at least one dealer lot, there's a brand new 2026 Tundra sitting with $10,000 off the sticker. When the brand that famously doesn't discount starts discounting this truck specifically, the everything's fine messaging and the let's move this thing before anyone asks questions, reality are clearly not the same conversation. So here's where that leaves you. If you already own one of these, 2022 through 2024, gas V6 Tundra, or one of the Lexus siblings, check your VIN against all 3 recalls. Not just the one you got a letter for, because Toyota's own numbers show some trucks have landed on more than one list. If you're shopping used, don't just ask, was there an engine recall? Ask whether the fix was a full engine or a short block, because that one word is the difference between the problem leaving the building entirely and most of it leaving the building. And if you're cross-shopping new, the math that made Tundra synonymous with boring and reliable for 20 straight years doesn't automatically carry over to this generation. Not yet. Not until that new bearing design proves itself over the next 22,000 miles, and the 22,000 after that. If you're trying to figure out whether any new vehicle right now is actually worth its price tag, Tundra included, we've got you covered. We just broke down 15 cars that dealers are practically begging people to take off their hands in. Nobody wants these 15 cars at current prices. Dealers are panicking. If you're cross-shopping after everything you just heard, that video is your next stop before you sign anything.